Hello there, fellow humans. It's Tuesday, I think. Alright. List. Alright. How's that? I don't. It's Wednesday somewhere. That is true. Time zones are a thing. How's it going? Start with some birthdays as always. Anything interesting and new when they show up here? As most of the time there isn't. But line 50T, okay. Yeah, but nothing special. The T22 medium was $35. Last time it was in the shop. Interesting. Why is there a moose avatar in a Soviet tank? Interesting. Interesting. Raise the price slightly. Well, they did raise the price, but they also added stuff. I mean, with stuff, I mean like avatars and other pointless gimmick things that nobody needs, you know? So it's more like, let's raise the price and justify it by adding things that have no value. Right. Oh, there we go. Careful on this one. Wait, you can't pin the damn turret. Well, you can. It is still one of the big mysteries in World Tanks Blitz that why was the 50B turned into the 4-shot autoloader and not the 57 Heavy, because it would have made a lot more sense for the 57 Heavy to be the 4-shot. But hey, here we are. Pin the... Ah, nope, it's not enough. I mean, yeah, this one's in the bag. Unless they throw badly. Unless they throw pretty badly. I mean, even the E3's got the standard B covered. Oh, that's not good. Be careful, friendo. You don't want to do that. Friendo. Okay. 34 pushes, maybe. Right on that side. Right. Got that problem. We got a E100 problem. We got a not blocking the Rhinoceronte problem. Got a I'm gonna peek this guy problem. Okay, that guy died way too quickly. That's not good. What are they doing? I mean, we have the position advantage here, but seemingly not the rain advantage. Oh, he missed, I think. I'm gonna take out the E100 here. I don't know if the 57 is still reloading. Maybe he is. Attempt the EP shell here. Well, I did track him. Okay, that's 57. What else? Hello. Oh, yes. And the E4 over there somewhere. Which doesn't bother me because he's out of sight. Never mind, he's over there. Shit, that's gonna hurt. Well, gonna change 50B from a lesser armor to spare weight over the field and change. Gonna wait. Yeah, it's like it would have made a lot more sense for the like T57 Heavy to be this like stationary brawling tank with long reload, you know, that sort of stays in one spot and pumps out shells, and then have the 50B be a lot more dynamic vehicle that has the 3 shells, you know, it goes in, it pumps out the 3 shells, it quickly disappears again. You know, have a lot more But hey. Alright. 15,000 credits, look at that. Then that puts me not at all closer to getting the Bizante, because the Bizante is 125 here. Set to the STV. Well, I mean, it has had a birthday. So there's that. Let's do another one. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Damn XP. Yeah, but it still suffers from the Cupola. It got buffed and it now is, I'd say, worthy of consideration, definitely. But still is a lot funky compared to the others, like a leper that doesn't have mass Cupola weakness, because here's a fun fact about tank gun mantlets. You can't pen any of them most of the time. And even if you shoot at the leopard's gun mantlet, in a lot of cases it's not going to go through. That's the same with the 30B. How clever they're doing. No, Blink, you were talking about. Damn. But yeah. Yeah, like, I don't know, the 50B just got ruined with the 4-shot. It has been ruined since. It's never been the same, you know. Back in when I played tournaments actively and I cared about them and bothered playing them, there was one tactic we did that was insane, but it worked pretty well, might I add. So Castilla, right? Everyone knows Castilla. And obviously all the tournament modes, the Supremacy. And the Castilla, the ACAP, it only works from one side, like it only works from the like south side pretty much, you know, because they have the ACAP there. So what you do is you get 6 50Bs and 1 mouse. And yeah, then you just rush that ACAP. That's yeah, because with the 3-shot you had enough reload time, right? You go there. Ideally you have 2 or 3 50Bs push the mouse along, right? Because then it doesn't go 20, it goes like 28, 29 if you push it properly. So you can get there, you can get the mouse there pretty quickly. You just hold the cap and you just have the 50Bs there. And the ones that are reloading just hide, run away, and obviously you've got the mouse block there. That's holding the cap circle, so no one can like actually push you. So you have like this endless round of autoloader, and got the mouse sitting there. Deliver the mouse back safely. Yeah, it's like protect the VIP, but the VIP exists purely as a damage sponge. Alright. It's time for tank requests. Let's go. One on 4. Let me see if I have that. No, I have the beast at 68 though. I don't know how. but I don't actually have the 114. Alright. If this was available for gold, I might get it, but, you know. Let's see. Alright. BZ-75. Alright. BZ-75, what else? Don't have that, Syed. Don't have that. Besides, it is awful. Like, the Blitz version of the WT-100 isn't even worth talking about. I don't think I've seen one. Tiger 8 Cent. What? You mean the Tier 8 Centurion? Alright. The 183 is a member tank. How you doing, Jason? It is a channel member tank, because I don't like the damn thing, and I always feel this little bit of shame playing the 183, because it's like... Alright. It feels like going outside in assless pants. Playing the 183. No, sorry, I can't. So... I mean, I can. But... then I don't get test tanks anymore. I don't know what that is. So... see, this is the beauty of it. I don't know anything about the test tanks because I don't look at their stats, so... I can't discuss the test tanks, even... because I don't know. No, big man, that's... not really. That's not really the point. Let's see what we can do. Obviously, if I'm on this map in a heavy, I pretty much always go in that bush and then just hit this corner on purpose. I mean, it was worth a try, but, you know. By the way, that's something that Unreal Engine's probably not gonna improve. Alright. Because, like, Blitz hitboxes are pretty good, you know, if I, like, fire it here, it's gonna work. But Unreal Engine is, like... not only is it an unoptimized mess, it's also a cranky mess. Ah, great, I don't have that. And it's a good idea to not have it either, because that is a pretty bad vehicle. That, can play the Object 752 though, which is the same tier and worth it. Alright, now, here's the thing, I have a press account, but I don't play on it for this. I mean, I could, of course, but... are they... okay, the Caro and the Progetto are both... I don't know, either chromosome deficient or... other... in-game problems non-related to human nature. Who knows? But yeah. Engineers the... which... I don't know. This is like the definition of bad medium tank gameplay. Right there. Because as a medium, you've got one primary job at the start of the battle, especially, and that's to take space on the map. Right, that's your one job. What's that? It's the one thing you gotta be good at and doing. It's to take space on the map. If you don't take any space, you're gonna most likely not win. Because, fun fact, unlike World Tanks PC, Blitz maps are mostly, with the exception of a few, like mines, are pretty well and evenly designed. So most of the maps are built to... like, to have the engagements in the middle, right? Like, we're here, they're there, and then we fight here in the middle. Right? So, what happens, though, is that this position here is built to fight that side. Right? And it's built to, like, combat here. The problem is, if you're not here, if you don't hold any of this position, right, and the enemy holds this, look at this. Open, 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 open. There's no way to fight this position any other way, because they're built to fight in the middle. So if you give up that advantage, if you give up that space, you're just asking to lose. It's especially terrible in, like, Port Bay, right? So you want to control that middle of the map. Because otherwise, you're going to be in a terrible position. Luckily, this case, the enemy team was awful, but... Let's see. Yeah, superhuman calls, normal skills, non-deficient, special parents. Well, I'm not talking about those. So... I'm not talking about those. You know, it's UE5 too. Uh-oh. See, the thing is with UE5 is that it's not necessarily badly optimized. It's that it's just hard to properly optimize. Right? And Wargame is not gonna do that. Alright. Yeah. It's kind of funny because there's some chromosomes that you could just have double or not have and it wouldn't really make much of a difference. But then other chromosomes, you just... If you don't have it, you're insta-dead. So... Humanity's wacky. I go with. Nature as a whole is wacky. What's that? Alright. What do we have? We also have the 5A. Any more tank requests? Normal tank requests today, indeed. Wuhan lab tank. I mean, I would doubt that like a drug lab or a virus lab would build a tank, but it's China. You know. It's kind of the hardworking programmers at Wargaming to optimize. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, I'd never... I would never beef with the programmers of the game, right? Like, the people that... I will beef with the people that design shitty UI and the people that make shitty marketing decisions when it comes to the shop. Right? And shitty balance decisions. Right? But, like, the mere fact of making the game operate, that is pretty difficult, right? And if you have 1,000 lines of code, you're gonna have 5 bugs. If you fix 5 bugs, you now have 6 bugs. So... uh-oh. I mean, if you think about it, marketing is basically the inverse psychologist, right? The psychologist tries to find out things about you to help you become a better person, right? The marketer tries to find out as much about you to exploit your person and, like, essentially use what you are against you to the maximum, right? Maximum legal, that is. Oh, Tricky. Thank you. Have a good one. It's very imbalanced. Yeah, the shop's supposed to be that way. You know, the shop is supposed to be mostly bad and sometimes good. At least that's what I would do if I would want to maximize profit, because it's like this, let's just call it gem theory, right? You have 5 terrible bundles and 1 decent bundle, And because that one decent bundle is in the context of 5 terrible bundles, that decent bundle now looks amazing. You know, it looks like the greatest thing ever. Right? Because it's in the context of the awful bundles. And if you do that, and also hit that M60's... I don't know what that is. That is the M60's G-spot or something like that, because it's basically not a part of the armor, but a part of the suspension. If you hit that, you're just not gonna get any damage. Hold on. Alrighty, 5120. By the way, one more time can be requested. Reject this. How about Wargaming? How about here's an idea. You take these offers, right? These offers you have to instantly reject. How about you take them, you shine them up real nice, you smooth them out, you turn them sideways and shove them right up your ass. How about that, Wargaming? Hi, Timo. How you doing? Time to roll out. Look at the 5A armor. Yeah, I mean that camo's on there for a reason, sorry guy. That camo's on there for a reason. 10-1 Fox. Yeah. How you doing? I'm doing alright. Did the 5120. Well, that's the next tank, because I didn't do this one. So I did the 5A, but I didn't do this one. So now I'm doing this one. Oh, somewhat. We have no space. And I have no... I mean, the Astron Rex is, I don't know, is... perhaps pleasuring himself in public. Or something like that. Yep, we don't have no space. And we lose. Because if I run away here, I'm just gonna get shot by both. I'm dead. When they take this position, they're surrounded. And then they just lose. Unless they just actually do something. I mean, this guy's gonna die now. I'll play it. I mean, he tried to take space, but all these other guys are awfully positioned. See, this is what I meant in the Canal game, right? The map's designed to fight in the middle, so once that Progetto and that Action X and those guys jump over the middle unopposed, when nobody on my team is stopping them from doing that, they gain such a massive advantage simply by position, right? Because this position here, it's not meant to fight here and middle. It's meant to fight the other side of the same side, right? Once you're in the middle there, you have a massive advantage, right? It's never built to, like, play defensive like that. That's not how the maps are built. They're built to fight here. Right, this is your neutral ground, this is your no man's land. And as soon as you cross that, you have a massive advantage if you're playing that ridge. Because back there, where the Progetto is, there is not a single position to oppose this position. Right, because this position opposes this position, but if you're holding this already, you're like stuck down in the hole. So you can't do anything. That's 7, yeah, that's 4, yes. You know, MES, I did like third most? Second most, even. You know? Like, you can't do anything if that's the case there, if they don't take the space in the middle. You know, a lot of things in humanity and in Blitz, if you break it down, is incredibly complex. But if you look at the big picture, the basics are pretty much all the same. You know, like the grand ideas, they're pretty much very simple. Right? Things like, you gotta take the space, you gotta take space in the middle. Or you gotta always play around the cover. Or, you know, only fight one tank at the same time. You know, those kind of basics. But once you internalize those and train them and start figuring out how to apply that in each scenario, you're gonna get a lot better. Right? Like here, I know there's a lot of mediums on the enemy side, so I want to go to the middle here to catch anyone crossing. Now what the 1-1B is now dead with no return, and we have lost this position entirely as well. You know, Leopard's useless. He's camping in the back. He's now pushing forward now, which puts him in a bad spot. He's now turning around, and like, look at this. We have no control. That middle there, about the T-95. This up here. This is where you fight, right? I can't oppose that position. I can't oppose that Sheridan up there. I can't oppose this guy. See, the way he can peek me, I can't peek him. Right? Because I don't have any, like, cover here. I have this, of course, but that's simply just going to expose the side of my hull just the same as it does the turret. And the turret armor doesn't exist anyway. So there's basically no map control here. And now those two heavies, they don't have any control either. Because that E-75 is holding them. They can't push forward. And, like, the Sheridan and the T-95, he's throwing now. Right? I mean, the Louis is going to kill me, even. I'm going to track him here. So this is what they shouldn't do, right? Once you hold the middle, don't over-push it. Right? Because that Louis just threw himself away for free. Right? For no gain. He should not have done that. Now, this Sheridan, I mean, if he jumps down, you know, what's the point, you know? And now he's pushing. What's he gonna do? He's gonna get... he's gonna catch... Yeah. I was about to say he's gonna catch one from the E-75 and the 183, and there's a grill, and now he's dead. He went from 2,000 to 41, and... Boom! Second. Right? Because he's playing alone. He's in a 1v3 on his own. Why the hell is he there? What thinking did he do to put himself into that terrible position? Right? The same, like, if the Leopard would have gone up with the 1-1B, this probably wouldn't have happened, because, I mean, the 1-1B probably would have gone just as low HP, but the Leopard would have had, and me being there, having 3 shots on the clip, could have finished off the Sheridan and then taken control of the hill and then won the game from there. Right? But, because the medium didn't do his damn job, it's already started off as a massive disadvantage. Already. So there's nothing worse you can have on your team than a bad medium tank player. Right? Because a bad heavy tank player, whatever. They're gonna be a hit point sponge. Right? They're gonna be useful to drip feed the enemy some time that you can use to do more damage. But a medium's gotta take space. Colonialism in depth is such a disturbing concept. On a glance, Spain horny. Well, replace horny with greedy, and then yes, you have described it pretty accurately, you know. Like, why did they do it? Greed. That's why. Greed and a sense of self-superiority for power. Things are bizarre these days. Well, yeah. Oops. The good thing about this microphone is it can't be killed. Unless you, like, throw it out the window and drop it out of a... Or you leave it in a Boeing plane. Then, you know... Shit. Mr. Lion, I have a question for you. I'm helping you. Why are you fucking useless and not taking space? Like, this bridge is pretty damn important on this map. So why do I have to retake it 40 seconds into the match? Right? Why don't we own it already? I mean, that grill just threw away, so that's a big advantage for us. So this, you know, terrible accuracy tank here. Let's see, so dead. Yeah, I am. If I'm not here, it's lost anyway, no matter what. Lol. Somehow I lived. See? My presence here just got rid of that 4005. And it's still keeping this guy busy. I mean, I'm gonna die now because I'm downhill, so I'm gonna have to drive up. You know. See, bounced another one. See? I basically single-handedly stopped them for over a minute. Now, normally, you know, I say never fight multiple tanks at the same time. But there, I knew exactly if I don't stay there, well, that's over. It's done. The Batchat and the Karo are gonna come around the back, shoot the heavies in the ass, boom, they're dead. I mean, the Vickers is gone, but he doesn't have backup because the Batchat doesn't help him. You know, and now they're pretty disjointed. The Type's on his own, the Karo's not anywhere, and we're gonna win. See? That was all me. So, anyway. Another round of tank quests. Let's go. Yeah, we do one list, and now we gotta do another list, so you gotta request it now. To looking too deep into it. Am I? Balls just hit each other. My balls are not made from glass now. Cobra. Okay. Cobra. MX. M449. I would reckon a keep it at 7 which is 3 damage. Nice. Oh, Coral. T95 E6. Hold on, I should have pinned the message. There you go. All tank destroyers are member tanks. Because I don't like tank destroyers, as you can see here. So, 296. It is crazy. I wouldn't say crazy good, but it is pretty good. 295 E6. 183 is a member tank. KPZ07. I think I have it. I gotta be very sure here. I do have, yes. KPZ07. And Cobra, T95, KPZ. And one more tank can be requested. That's not a tank destroyer. And not the mouse. I'm okay. Hi, Cece. How you doing? I have standards. Standard is I'm not gonna play tanks I don't like. Which is tank destroyers. And the mouse. Alright. Comet. There we go. I think it is because I'm slow. I don't like them for the exact reason that is the inverse. I don't like them because I want to play fast. Right, I want to be able to move around the map and do something. In a TD, you're always reliant on your team being there. In a medium, you can be a lot more flexible and move around the map and do something. 6 passes since both update on this now. Alright. I mean, if it's too good, they're gonna nerf it. They always do. They always do. One might remember the days of the alleged TVP terror, which was just good players playing the TVP, destroying everybody because it was perfect for that. Right, and then bad players asking themselves, huh, what's so special about it? When in fact it was the player that could extract the performance from the tank. There we go. They overextend. Yeah. I mean, normally, you don't want to play past the middle line at the start. I mean, if you can take space, take space. But if you... even if it costs you a few hit points, in other cases, it's a pretty good idea to just take space. That you can defend, of course. You know, like this space, I know there's 2 guys over there. That SU is pretty much on his own. That's 6 in total. There's 3 over there now. That means 4 here. Which means this space belongs to me. Because nobody can defend it. The SU, obviously he could. I have HE. The only one that could attack me, that could be a danger here to me, is actually the Kennedy 1. So I'm just going to stay up here. I'm going to pre-aim this guy. Take a big shot. Now he's dead. Now, who do we have? We have a low HP one shot, and we have a Kennedy 1. The Kennedy 1 is simply countered by the mere fact of that Progetto being there. So what I can do, and I mean, I'm just gonna hide behind the T-4 here. You always want to be the hardest target, right? Not hard as in that hard, but most players have very singular vision, right? Like, if you're difficult to shoot at, they're not gonna shoot at you. They're gonna find themselves an easier target in a lot of cases. So, if you're difficult to shoot at, and one of your teammates is easy to shoot at, they're probably gonna shoot at your teammate. Now, I don't know exactly how, but those are 2 Object 752s that somehow throw it badly. I don't know why it's there. But those... okay, they're not platoon, okay. I would have really questioned it if they were in a platoon, but they're not, so it kind of makes a bit more sense, because one of them bum rushed out, got himself screwed by 3 tanks at once, and then the other guy got stuck in a 1v everyone. Now again, what I'm doing here is, do I want to play in the same position as that Progetto? No, I don't, because then that Tiger Mouse can just angle himself towards both of us, because we're both in the exact same position. But if I'm up here, Tiger Mouse, he can either aim angle for the Progetto, or he can angle for me. He can't do both. So, take a risk here. No, fuck, that's not worth it. Okay. Okay, the SU-130 is on the other side now, which means there's a stupid little piece there. Oh, that's a shot. Boom. Ow. Still got my bush. Not that kind of bush. Now I can use my bush and try and pick the Tiger Mouse here. Bro. This is not nice. See, now I'm aiming at this guy. He's trying to shoot the Progetto. Oh, he's dead. Shit. Come on, nope. Okay, that's bad. Because that means I need 2 shots and he needs, well, 1. Nope. That's a wall. And what I want to do now is change position. But I don't want to be where he knows I am. I want to be in the worst possible position for him. He's capping now. This vehicle's not particularly good. So it is a problem, really, to do this. Extend our... Well, then you shouldn't overextend. Just play more safely, then. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I mean, he was reversing, so I had to try. Gotta try now as well. I hit him. But yeah, I mean, if you play the best tier 9 against one of the worst on 120 HP, 5k damage. Oh well. Not bad for an ass tank. Not bad for an ass tank. Not the good kind. So. Resting on like this, you won't. Yeah, but that has like 4,000 DPM. That's at least something. Might have been the erect target since the iPhone 4 release. How do you know I have an iPhone 4? It's only a game. It is just the game, and here's the thing. If you carry your own weight, you know, if you don't drag your teammates down, you're doing all you need to. So that's all you gotta do. If you want to do more, you do more. If you don't, you don't. But you should aim to carry your own weight. Right? Alright, Scorpion, now I know where you are. And I didn't even lose any hit points for it. So this is what I mean with taking space. I know the Scorpion's in the back. I know there's 2 tank destroyer dudes. I know I have a backup T-49 here. Right, I know that I'm taking a pretty big risk because the Annihilator isn't annihilating anything. You know, here comes the Helsing. I gotta go to hell and sing. Pick that guy now. He's got pretty decent front armor here. And here comes the Ferdinand. Track. And block. See, this is what I want to do here. I want to track him, and I'm going to block him. He can't turn into me. See? He can't turn into me. Very well. I know I'm fine. Like here, if I peek the STA, I still have enough train cart here for now. Oh, dude, just hello. I'm gonna just send it. Because now what I can do, I did one thing. Didn't hit the shot, but I did trade the position. Like, I did trade the hit points for position. Now he has to move away. Oh, okay. He has to retreat, and I can take another position. If you trade a position for hit points like that, it's fine. You know, now I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna miss. It's fine, because I can reload faster than him anyway. Oh well, it's fine. Now the Helsing's got a double shot, which is annoying. And now, why are they all dead? I was scared of him. What the hell? How did they throw that? Oh well. Wait, is a living paradox. Why is that? Why is that? Try that. Oh well. Did my older brother's iPhone 5S. Good dude. Yes. Been a while. look at those guys. They know what they're doing. Hopefully. And I would hope that everyone else also knew what they're doing. Please. Super Conqueror. Good boy. Beautiful. You're doing great. Excellent. And we win, basically. Is that guy? You just screwed yourself. Didn't do any damage, but got his repair kit off. He's got a second repair kit off. That was dumb. And now he's in a retreating battle. And now I can take the space. Hello. Yeah, there's 2 mediums over there, buddy. You can't do that. Yeah, nah, Kong, you're not having a good time here. Grill? Hello? Bad idea, Kong. Bad idea. I don't know what the Grill was thinking. Probably not very much, but here we are. Remember, kids, a bad shot is better than no shot. So if a guy is disappearing like that, just take the shot. Just take the shot. Hello. I don't like you. Fuck. Oh well. Let's see. KPZ 07. So you know you're playing on a disadvantage when you see any opposing team. Indeed. Isn't it supposedly that it's always an Annihilator versus an Annihilator? Like you. Famous last words. Oh well. You guys can request the Annihilator. Yeah, but why would anyone request the Annihilator? It's like requesting testicle cancer. Alright. MX is sleeping. It's always a great sign of winning. Those guys are taking space. So yeah, that's how you do it. They did it. And now those 2 guys are dead. Now, guess what you're gonna do to counter that? You're gonna take space on the other side, which we can't do because we've got a bum of an AMX on our team. That's AFK. Or worse. Okay, we got that guy. They have a WZ somewhere. Wait, we gotta get this guy. Skoda, you can't let this guy go. If he does, he's gonna shoot you in the ass in a second. You can't let him go. Gotta get him now. But he is letting him go. It's gonna be a one-shot. It did let him go. I have no idea what the WZ is, which is a problem. Alright, there we go. Problem solved. Okay. They held out pretty decently over there. Congrats to them. There's a Skoda. Sort of looking at me. Oh, it's back there. Bruv is back there. Can't play this thing to save my life. Well, they don't try and play it to save your life then. my advice. Ew. Still can't drive. Yeah, the gravedigger is grave dead. Wow. Yeah, I mean the WZ is a wacky tank. It's a really wacky tank. Like, if you get the chance to get your hands on the 121, do it. Because that is pretty much the only Tier 8 Tank Destroyer Premium that I would genuinely recommend. Why are you turning to me? Look at traverse speed. It's got like E25 levels of traverse speed. It's insane. See how easily that guy just tracked me at full speed. Yeah, it's insane. Why isn't Wargaming banning AFK players? Because they could wake up and pay. Think about it. If you ban someone from the game, you automatically lose a customer. So you only ban those people that are so badly, like, you know, if a guy is in your store, staring at your store, not doing anything, you're gonna ban them from the store. Probably not. Right? But if a guy's pissing in your store, you're probably gonna ban them because that annoys the other customers. Right? So, but if they do nothing, you're just gonna like be like, the heck are you doing, mate? Just leave. And you know, especially if those AFKs aren't AFK every battle. That's another important thing. They're punishing you for damaging them. No, that was a World of Tanks PC thing, and it's not. It's team damage. It's a team damage thing. Like if you team damage, I don't know how that happened though, because there is no team damage in World of Tanks PC anymore either. But yeah, that was a World of Tanks PC post. That has nothing to do with Blitz. You're not getting punished for shooting at AFKs because you can't cause damage to AFKs. They cause damage to you, mentally mostly, but you can't shoot me from there. Yeah, this is not a great spread. Nope, that's not good. That Churchill, I mean, it's a Churchill, it takes years to arrive. But that is not a good position around there at all. Especially with Mr. Smashy Smash on the enemy team, which we don't have. And that type guy up there. And that Smasher is also going to stop me from killing the Churchill. Which also sucks. A lot. Luckily this thing has like bazillion degrees of gun depression. I can do engage there. Smash is gonna reload for another. Oh god. Yeah, we're not winning this one, are we? No space, no position, nothing. Just useless. Jeez! Well, he puts money above honor. Everybody does. It's capitalism, baby. Capitalism is, by its nature, undemocratic. But hey. Here we are. Because allegedly in democracy everyone's worth the same, In capitalism, everyone that's worth more is worth more. There we go. Another round of tanker quests. Let's go. Oh boy. RL44. I'm playing this map with the M3. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Boris. 60 TP. One, 4. Split 07. I don't have that. And Murat. That's the tier 9 German vehicle that is entirely pointless in its existence. And well, it does have a point, and that's to make wargaming money. But yeah. See, that's why I appreciate the Type 63. Type 63 for a long time is one of the very few vehicles that's actually worth considering over vehicles that are already in game. Right? Because if you have a tank, it's no better. Like, why would you buy a worse tank for more money? Right? Why would you buy a worse tank for more money? What's the point? What's the actual reason? Like, if you already have the best vehicle of a certain type, let's say you have the T-54E2. Why would you buy other tanks that are worse? Oh, let's say you have the Skoda T-56 or the Type 57. Why would you buy a 112 or a IS-6 or something worthless? It makes no sense. To then downgrade. Right? Why would you go from like a Type 57 and downgrade to an IS-6? Like, why would you? Unless you're like a tank collector that wants every single tank. But it makes fundamentally no sense for 99% of players to buy bad tanks. You want to have the best of its type, and maybe one alternative that you can play when the other one's in battle. It is bad though, CC, compared to a good tank. It's also the difference is, do you like playing it, and is it actually good that way? You know? Because you might like playing a tank. Let's say you like playing the Basotto. That's weird, but sure. Liking to play a tank has nothing to do with the tank being good. Depends on, do you like the tank? Like, I don't know if they nerfed it already, but the Chinese tank destroyer, the WZ-113 GFT or whatever it's called, that's a really good tank destroyer. I don't want to play it. I don't care about it because I don't like tank destroyers. Right? I don't care how OP it is or was. I'm not going to play it. I don't care about it. It's the case for all tanks, really. It's, you want to play the tanks that you enjoy. Jesus. Struggling to pin a friggin' KV-1. There we go. Ha, well. Rectoroni, boy. Here's the problem, the Y5 is somewhere here. If I push the KV, the Y5 can just intercept me. And the Goggle's dead. And the Struve is dead. But my Struve is dead, and I only have a Hellcat. So, what they would be smart to do, and what the Y5's sort of starting to do, is they gotta move together. Like, they gotta cover each other here, right? They gotta help each other out. I got the armor. I'll be fine. You know, what I want to do is I want to drive him back so the Hellcat can shoot him. If he does. There's the shot. And now we win. Oh, there he is. Come on, Hellcat. Get him. Aim. Good boy. Famous Panzer IV gunner last word struggling to pen a KV-1. Well, yes, but he won't die because of the KV-1, because that can't hit anything. But... yeah. Most Soviet tanks, not by the design, but by their build quality, were like Chihuahuas. All bite, all bark, no bite. You know, it's like, oh look, it's a great, massive tank. Oh wait a minute, it can't hit anything because the optics are fucking metal instead of glass. Oh wait a minute, because Dimitri made the gun kind of oblate. So... yeah. But it is interesting to see that over 80 years later, the Zerg rush is still the primary method of Russian attack. To the tactical scooters! Go! That's why Berlin was overrun by T-34. Well, it ain't German propaganda to say that the T-34 was a piece of shit mostly. It's just that they happen to have a lot of them. And especially the English did a massively great job at essentially destroying any industrial capacity the Germans ever had. So they just couldn't build anything more. Right? And if you got 30,000 shit tanks against 5,000 really good ones, they're still gonna live. You know? Because you can take 5 shots and someone's gonna hit something. Maybe. And German tanks weren't as good as people claim they were either. So, yeah, it's... yeah. Also, the German Air Force was non-existent later on, so they couldn't do shit, and they got bombed to hell. Like that. So... it's more of a case of Soviet armor being awful, but them having a lot of awful, and the Germans having not a lot of awful. Uh-oh. Like, what's the point of a Tiger having, like, double the fuel consumption, double the repair needs, if it ain't double as effective? Because it wasn't. Alright. It's like that whole, oh, you need 5 Shermans to kill a Tiger. It's also baloney, because you don't need 5 Shermans to kill a Tiger. You need 1 Sherman to kill a Tiger. It just happened to, in the majority of cases, they brought 5 Shermans against 1 Tiger, because they had that many. And they just drove around in units of 5. Right? And the Tiger would like just... guys? Where are you? Help. My engine is broken again. Sad. What's that? Stalin said quantity is quality. Yeah. Yeah. Not really. Not really. Just happens that if you start a war against everyone, you're probably gonna lose. And the Germans did. And they did. Alright. And now the Nazis are back again. They're trying it again. God damn it. See, this is the problem. They control the map and my teammates are useless. Right? That's the middle is there by the silo, right? And they all already control the map. And they won the battle. Just like that. Because these guys are useless. John didn't learn about why Germany lost because he's a moron that knows nothing about anything, and everyone that votes for him is a massive factor in the downfall of humanity and should severely question whether they can still consider themselves as a adequately thinking human. So, yeah. I have more disgust for a Trump voter than I would have for someone that voted for Hitler back then, because back then it was a lot harder to get to information and it was a lot easier to spread propaganda because all you needed to do was occupy the one radio show that existed and boom, there you are. Right? But now you can inform yourself and then still make that mistake again. That makes you worse. That makes you fucking worse. Right? And how far it goes in the chain of extremism. That's then what's gonna happen. But once it starts rolling, it's pretty difficult to stop. And the only question that remains is how evil and depraved is it gonna go? You know? Are they gonna stop, like, are they gonna stop at simply imprisoning minorities? Right? Or, you know, kicking out people without due process? Or they're just gonna keep going and be like, yeah, well, pfft, whatever. You know? It never, like, nobody starts with, okay, let's just kill everyone. Never starts like that. That's how it ends, in some cases, if it is let to run to completion. Right? But it never starts like that. It always starts with, oh yeah, this group of people, they're not that good, and we don't like them, and that group, like, you know, and this group, and they're not that great, and maybe we should, and blah blah blah. And then it starts that they start getting called names, you know, they start slowly taking away their humanity, and then boom, there you go. Because everyone is human. Not everybody possesses humanity. Alright, and playing Blitz. Uh-oh. Makes that kind of obvious, because what the fuck is my team? Do I have something like that? They're talking about the people that believe the Earth is flat because God can't save you. Well, you can't save those people, though. Like, there is a certain level where you have to simply concede that you can't save those people. Like, you cannot, at any point in time, return them to a rational thinking human. That's impossible. You know? Because once you've filled someone's brain with so much goo, you're not getting them back. Yeah, the Scorpion's gonna absolutely, it's gonna carry it. Media gotten better at manipulating whoever knew was already banned 40. Yes, but now you have any option available to you at an instant. You can just check your phone. Like, if you see a news broadcast, you can just check your phone. Right? And be like, research it. But 100 years ago, You know, you listen to the evening radio. They tell some trash. You know, then the next day the paper comes that says nothing about it because they missed it, and then you gotta wait like 3 days to figure out whether that was bullshit or not. So, yeah. Oh well. I mean, it always starts the same and it never ends the same. But it's always the same path. It's always the same path. Every single time. It's always, we have a problem. We can't fix problem. Oh, we need reason for problem. Okay, we blame people for the problem. Right? Because if you blame, let's say you have a problem and you blame exhaust pipes, you can't emotionally attach anything to that. You know, you need to build emotional connection, right? You have to build that through emotion, right? Fear, anger, distrust. That's what you gotta build, right? And once you do that, you find yourself a group that's a minority. Ideally, a minority that's already questioned a little bit. Like, let's say, blue-eyed people are a minority. Left-handers are a minority, but there's not like any, let's say, underlying societal stigmas attached. So it's a lot harder to make that enemy role stick, right? So you just use a group of people as your enemy that's already somewhat stigmatized anyway, and then you go from there, and you're like, those people are at fault for everything, and if we do something against these people, then it's gonna be better. Right, and then blah, 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 it's gonna go to, they're gonna get beat up, they're gonna get imprisoned, and then boom, they're dead. And then nothing is improved, because they can't fix the problem. It is a problem that we don't have any new tank, because you look at the, yeah, like you drive, this is the modern European far right winger, right? You drive in your Chinese or Japanese car to the kebab shop. You eat meat from a kebab prepared by a Polish guy that stuck that stuff on the kebab meat. You get that kebab served to you by a Turkish guy. Then you check your phone that was made in China, designed in America, right? Then you go back in your car, you drive home. You watch a movie that's also made in America. Then maybe later you go to a bar and you drink a, I don't know, Dutch beer or something, and then you wonder about foreigners. Bruh. CS53. Oh, gotta get that one out there. MXM 445. Fear and Greed, Goth. Fear and Greed. Karo 45T. Panzer 58. Fear stems from doubt, fear leads to anger, anger leads to dogs. That's the evil. Yep. And what is evil? Evil is the absence of empathy. Let's go. But yeah, here's the question, chat. Kebab, spicy or not? It's more pressing matter than the world, because we're screwed anyway. Anyways. I mean, I think the only terrible tank in this list is the Panzer 58. Simply, you know, it's that type of tier 8 medium tank that you shouldn't own. But you're free to enjoy if you want to. There's the Indian guy. His name is Big Man Blastoise now, and he was here earlier. Evil is Ice Cube and wine. Yeah, true. True. I mean, it's better than piss and wine. This is an ice cube made from... Oh, never mind. Let's see. See? Take the space. All the time you have to take the space. Because I'm a medium and he's a little puny ass light tank. And I can take him out. Now that ICU, he can do nothing about it. Come on, LTTB, do you? Do you? Why, mate? You should have known that he's there. But now, I've got the space. Problem is, I don't have the hit points or the backup that I'd need because my boy's dead. So I'm gonna have to evacuate it a little bit because I don't know what the type is. Because that's a tier 7. I was like, I don't know what it tastes like. I just know that that would be worse than an ice cube. You know. As said, war crimes. Ice cube and wine is already close to it. I mean, ice cube and wine is a war crime, isn't it? Ow. Oh, that's the hell. Okay, so the Helsing and the ICU are camping in the same spot now. Oh, God. Yeah. Had to try. Not worth it. Kebab fries with thick garlic sauce. Kebab with fries? Like, you mean the fries in the kebab or on the side? Alright. Haven't gotten one in at least... Haven't gotten a kebab in at least a month. See, I've been to McDonald's more recently than had a kebab. That's a disappointment. That's definitely a disappointment there. Gotta say. Hey, kebabs are damn awful in Germany. No, they're not. I mean, it depends where you go. But the ones I get aren't. Yeah, Thunderbolt's not doing. Yeah, you just gotta find the right kebab man. Because it's a bit screwed up, but you can call a kebab kebab here in Germany if at least 40% are like full meat. The rest can just be minced goo. So you're gonna find the ones that are proper meat. I mean, in Bavaria, it's kind of screwed. In Bavaria, you pretty much only get chicken and turkey kebab. Right, I don't know why, but yeah, you have to leave Bavaria to get lamb or veal, but most of them aren't even that. You know, there's lamb kebab that has no lamb in it, for example. The right Indian kebab. That. All right. What are you doing, honey? Oh, what? Nah. When I get Indian food, it's pretty much just naan and spicy chicken. Because I think that chicken is the ultimate human food, right? There's some people that can't eat pig. There's some people that don't eat beef. But everyone eats chicken. Everyone can eat chicken. So, Well, except for vegetarians and vegans, but they can eat eggs or vegan dino nuggets. I think that the chicken nugget might be the most... I think the chicken nugget is the pinnacle of human food. Gotta say. Like a proper chicken nugget. T20 is such a sad thing. Yeah, it is. Like it's... Not in the spam. I mean, the spam is just pig goo. You take a pig, you blend it, boom, spam. I mean, you take out the bones and the organs first, but... Even that you don't have to if you blend it hard enough. Let's do pork nuggets. I think that pork is the most inferior of meat. As far as meat, I think... Uh-oh. I think as far as meat concerned, that's just my opinion, it goes lamb, horse, chicken, beef, massive gap, pork. The right kind of horse sausage, though. Right? Because this... like, there's so many places that have, like... friggin... sawdust horse sausage. And it's awful. But if you find the right one... Oh. Alright. Alright. Controversial. I don't know, I just... What is the advantage of pork? It's cheap. That's it. Horse. A horse is number 2. Lamb is number 1. If you get some lamb steak, that's like... I'm sorry, little one, but you're too damn tasty. You know? I was German when you mentioned meat. Yeah. Would you rather eat 99% beef blend with the known 1% human meat or mystery meat, which if I weigh in? It says meat. I'd probably starve. At that point. Or just ask whether it's free range human, like free range human meat, and then I'll be like, okay, whatever. Before I starve, I'll take it. If the human had the sunlight and a happy life, I'm like, okay. I'll take that seriously. Crocodile. Okay. I heard crocodile tastes like chicken. Works a lot of fat, which is actually good. Yeah, and you can use it instead of oil. Like that. Well, no, it's... Eating tons of fat is terrible for you. I mean, it's good for cooking to get the taste, right? And to get a good sauce. But eating fat is... It doesn't taste good. Like, fat gives taste to other things, but eating fat itself just tastes awful. So, and it's also this, like, goo kind of thing. So, yeah, it's not good. But it is good for sauces and stuff, so that's great. I don't know where spam comes from, but probably, I mean, I would put it down as 90% of human inventions are either because someone wanted to fuck someone, or someone wanted to kill someone. Alright. It's the three human motivations: fear, grade boobs. Someone got suspicious of the pet store when the guy kept returning for more hamster. Uh-oh. Besides, it's still fat pork skin in the layer from it. Why and then chicken one. Yeah, but why would you want to eat pig liver? I mean, sure, if we're talking about like medieval context here, yes, but we're in the days of factory farming. That doesn't matter anymore. Chicken's got more protein. And obviously, if you get a good chicken, I mean, the kebab man also does chicken. Like my kebab man. That I've been getting kebabs at for like 15 years. And if you get the chicken, you get the chicken skin nicely seasoned and roasted, that's great. You guys don't eat pork liver, cheap nutrients. This is Germany. I mean, some people do, yes, but those are weird people that eat like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird stew full of pig. Right? I mean, you can buy stuff like cow tongue. Doesn't taste very good, though. But I wouldn't think of anybody that regularly would eat pig liver. Pretty much like, ugh. You guys usually eat raw meat and it's a specialty. Oh, I don't eat pork liver. Because the raw meat is beef. And a cow is a lot more... Like a cow meat is a lot more durable and less diseased than pig meat. Thai has chicken feet on the menu. Humans eat everything. Well, not everything. Not everything. I mean, sure, there's a guy that eats a plane, or that ate a plane. And a whole bicycle. So, we do eat a lot. You know, from bird to bicycle, everything's in there. But there's also some things we don't eat, like lead. Well, we do eat lead, just involuntarily. Heck, it's gotta be up there. Yeah, I don't know why would anyone like just... Well, like all the bugs that are eaten in primarily Eastern Asia, where I'm like, okay, I get it, it's bugs. And there's a lot of protein in them, but you could at least prepare them in a way that makes them, like, not look like that. Oh no. Pork roast, crab, and mashed potatoes are awesome. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of, like, the pure of pig meat. You know, like ham or sausage. That's what I like, but if I'm gonna eat some meat, I'm gonna eat a real animal. Alright. Lots of iron in that bicycle. Absolutely. I mean, if you need iron, eating a bicycle is pretty... That's just used to eat lead. I know. Because maybe it does like the reverse effect, because like lead and mercury and all that, it poisons you and makes you dumber. And maybe if Nazis eat that, it makes them smarter. Because like you can't go any lower in the human pole than the Nazis, pretty much. I mean, almost. You almost can't go any lower than that. But, you know, we wouldn't want to find that out. It's always gotta think of the test. Would you kill that human to save a cat? With Nazis, the answer is yes. Of course. It's a cat. So... Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm gonna die now. Just peek me. You have higher alpha damage. Just peek. Can do that though. I mean, he can repair. But... No! Steam gearboxes as endorsed by the Germans. What the hell? No, it's just like, if you eat bugs, at least make them like look not like bugs. You know, that's my only critique with that. If you eat them, like, it's just, you know, I mean, sure, you'd eat a dinosaur-shaped chicken nugget, but would you eat a human-shaped chicken nugget? That's the question. Did France lost World War II because of high ping? What do you mean lost? What do you mean lost? They got temporarily occupied by a shit-ass country. And then... They won. I mean, given with the rise of the AFD in Germany, I think we eventually got to prepare for the 4th season of Reich. You know. I mean, the first season was insanely long. The second and the third one were I mean, especially the third season was really short. Right? And, I mean, it was a lot of death and craziness and insanity. You know, but it's been 80 years since the third season of Reich. So I wonder when the Germans are gonna produce the fourth. Not I, because I don't vote for Nazis, but when we're gonna produce the 4th season of Reich. So we'll see. Green shake powder is light maggot, isn't it? I do think that the like whey protein is just whey, because it says whey protein on it. The high command was just AFK. Yeah, I just took a break. Modern, we also know to attack through Belgium too. Poor Belgians, they deserve better. Well, oh, Blue Cross Life and Matter Society a little bit more. What do you mean? Nobody matters at all. Unless you're rich, then you matter. Alright. Your only value is to create more value for the shareholders, don't you know? You gotta work unpaid overtime so your boss can drive a Ferrari. Perhaps. How you doing, Jax? How you doing? Doesn't mean you can survive longer. Of course it doesn't. I mean, you won't live longer, but you'll live better up to a certain degree. I mean, if you get above like 100, 200 million, your life basically doesn't change anymore. Right? So, nobody needs more than that. Ever. Because, like, what's the point of hoarding it? It's just, it's hoarding power in a place where it shouldn't be. Because money is power. Alright. Ow. When France gonna return the humiliation back to the Germans? What do you mean? Why would France invade Germany? They're not Germany. Also, by the way, champagne is only from Goth. You're gonna piss on me for the pronunciation, but bear with me. Is only from a certain region in France, right? And the same is with a world war. Right? A world war can only be caused if it's caused by an Austrian. Otherwise, like champagne and sparkling wine, it's a sparkling war if it's not caused by an Austrian. So always remember that distinction. But remember that we have another round of tank requests. I'm actually looking forward to the new game version. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? 110 907 MX50 100 Type 61. Some chick was self-made billionaire. Sits on a phone. Feel to see how she matters. Sometimes the brand is more important than the person. Because it has nothing to do with rationality or skill or... You know, do you think Mark Zuckerberg is more skilled than other programmers, or that he's even skilled at programming at all? No, he was just hornier than everyone else and got lucky. Right? I mean, Bill Gates' mom was at IBM. Right? So it was pretty easy to get in. You know? You don't get up there without luck. You don't. If you have no luck, you don't get anywhere. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how hard you work, how skilled you are. If you have no luck, you get nowhere. You always need a little bit of luck, and that includes having the right skills at the right time, meeting the right person. Right? That includes that. Obviously, the more you can do, the more you're good at, the easier it is to, like, find that lucky break. But without it, it doesn't work. I mean, the only reason why each and every single one of us exists is luck. So, it wouldn't be too far to... 6, yo. Also put that on everything else, on success in life, is that you always need a little bit of luck. You can achieve something without it, but... Want to do a lot? You need that. That's why the war between France and the rest of Europe in 1909 World Wars. Exactly, because it's only an Austrian. I mean, theoretically, there's like this historian thing where you could like use the War of 1870 as sort of a world war because it involved colonies and places all around the world, but not really. So it's like World War 0.5, that. Do you guys actually think Elon Musk was good at physics? No, he's not. He never was. Elon Musk's not an inventor, he's a marketer. Right? Just like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs never invented anything, he just said, I want that. Right? And then other people made it happen for him. It's the same with Elon Musk. He's like, make me a rocket. Make it more pointy. Sell it. You know? It's within SpaceX that, like, there's people working at SpaceX that are basically dedicated to keeping Musk busy and away from the things that matter so he doesn't fuck it up. right? Like, the guy's the biggest business incel of all time. You know, I mean, he didn't even found Tesla. He can call himself the founder because he bought the right to call himself that, but he's not. You know. Then he bought himself a social media platform. So people can like him, even though nobody does, really. And the people that do like him are out of blind stupidity because they believe that someone being rich automatically makes them good. Which couldn't be further from the truth, and probably the inverse is true, because power does corrupt, and power does attract the corrupt. Life is random, you should never expect anything to go along with it. It's a trap. Well, you would want to be happy, do you? You know, that could be he put in actual work. What work did he put in? Snort ketamine? Snort ketamine and be like, build me a rocket, build it, make it bigger. Ugh. You know, like the people that achieved all of that. It's the same with like the moon landing, you know. Like sure, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, they did the flying to the moon, but nobody knows the people that actually made it happen. You know, nobody has any idea who they are. Who built the damn thing and did all the math, and nobody knows who that is. You know, not to take away from those guys' achievement, because they did actually go to the moon, where Elon Musk should go to, and not come back. But, you know, it's always like that, you know, like, once you reach a certain level, you're no longer doing any other work, you know, you have like, if you've got a big company like that, once you start having like 40, 50 employees even, you're just telling other people what to do, mostly. In the majority of cases. They were not on the moon. Yes, they were. What the hell? Funny troll, though. So... I mean, you can, see the if you have a telescope, you can see the remains of the moon mission on the moon yourself. So, you know. I mean, you have a point, Jax, though. You have a point. Because here's the thing. NASA in the 1960s, they knew that they couldn't actually land on the moon. Right? So they hired a director to make a movie. Right? And to make it look like they were on the moon. The problem is that the director insisted that they film on location. So they had to go to the moon to fake the moon landing. Right? Because the director of the movie insisted that they do film on location. To make the fake as realistic as possible. Alright. They were on a satellite orbiting Earth. No, that was the third guy. Michael Collins was his name, I believe. That was the third guy. Everyone forgets him as well. That was like orbiting the moon, waiting for the other two guys to come back up. Right, because someone had to pilot that craft. So... there was 3 guys on that mission, and only 2 are famous. Alright. A long tangent, skip 40 seconds. What do you mean? It's not a tangent, it's just reality. The director was already there to film the first steps. Of course, they landed on the moon before they landed on the moon, so they can film it. Oh, they actually just brought the cameras themselves, duh. So... And a couple of years later, they taped over one of the original tapes because the tape back then was so insanely expensive that they couldn't afford more. But they did. They do still have that footage, but they did tape over one of the originals. One of, but they still have plenty of originals. Moon is the satellite orbiting the Earth. Sure. Want to put it that way? You have a point. You're right. Okay, 50, 100. Even though it is a rock. Here for our technology. I mean, yeah, unidentified flying object doesn't mean that it's alien. It just means we don't know what it is. You know, it could be Jeff that built himself a plane and is now flying through Nevada. You know? Because the thing is about conspiracy is that it's impossible to keep them quiet. You know, if you have like 400,000 people that would need to keep quiet, which is the case for the moon landing, you need 400,000 people for that whole thing. So you would need 400,000 people to like pretend to do something that they don't. Kind of impossible. Skill, contacts, and timing, or we need to get lucky. Exactly. Obviously, the more people you know, the more skills you have, the more chances you have of being at the right place at the right time and with the right person. You know? So nobody's gonna argue that, but like, the less skills you have, the less people you know, obviously the harder it is to get somewhere. Right? Then you need to be in a very specific, narrow field of luck. But the more you know, the more you got. Rich parents always helps, of course. You know, because the easiest way to become a billionaire is to have millionaire parents. If you want to be in the top 0.1%, you want to have parents in the 1%. Alright. Pyramids. Well, the pyramids... You know, the pyramids, they were built by the British. In case you don't know. The only reason why they're not in the British Museum is because they were too heavy. Right, and because there's not enough sand and rock in Britain. So they had to build them there and, you know, unfortunately leave them. Sound very bitter. Bitter about what? What do you mean? What do you mean? Explain. It's made of green cheese. No, it's made of yellow cheese. What the hell? How'd you know that? Okay, I want this guy. I want this guy. Well, actually, I want this. No, well, actually, I don't want any of that. I want none of that. This Navy rules the waves, but can't get rocks to home. Yeah. I mean, remember, the British, they don't steal anything. They just permanently rehome objects of interest. Uh-oh. Ah! Damn. Pyramid ain't so hard to build when it could be taking 200 years to build, 200 times 300 work days. Yeah. I mean, it's just you put a rock onto another rock. You know? Just because the people back then didn't know as much about the world doesn't mean they were stupid. Because there were smarter people back then than there are stupid people now. You know? 3.5k damage, and that was not enough. Just casual blitz play, as always. But this is production X. I mean, of course I have to. I just gotta tease him a little bit, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Did find him. I'm gonna leave now. They're gonna take the space that they would have taken anyway. So those guys are dead. They're covering up higher tech. Oh, no. Not really. I mean, sure, there's some things that not everyone knows about, but... It's impossible to hide, like, insanely revolutionary stuff because someone else is gonna find it too. Right? Why'd you think there's pyramids everywhere? Not just in Egypt, because it's, like, the easiest way to build up. So many, I mean, this is... Here's a conspiracy theory. The decrease in player quality is directly proportional to the increase of anime profile backgrounds. Pyramids don't fall over. That's what they want you to think. That's what the globe heads want you to think. Ah, man. All those like conspiracy people and like those extreme view people, that would be funny if they wouldn't be so pathetic. Hmm. No, 40,000 buffed muscular men must be lifting hard rocks back in 4000 BC. Yeah. You don't know about globe heads. It's fun. Guys, H-Bomber Guy. If you have not watched H-Bomber Guy, you need to, because H-Bomber Guy is cool. Oh, come on, man. Really, man? See, this is what I would call an awful medium tank player, right? We're helping him. He sees that, and he still decides to like attempt to brawl with heavies. Hi, Phoenix. How you doing? You know, that's like the picture-perfect bad medium tank player right there. I mean, look at him. Holy shit. I mean, he is taking space, but throwing at the same time. Okay. Where's the leopard? Ah! Oh! Oh, was that it? I think that might have been the leper right there. Yep, there he is. Oh, there's 3 guys. Okay, so you over there are fucking dog shit if you don't win this, because I'm gonna go over there now. So they have an advantage, a massive advantage, over there. Right? That they have to use now. Quickly, like right now. If they don't kill those 3 guys. Now. There we go. One down. Come on, 2 more. I have no idea how that TVP is still alive, but maybe they just missed him. There we go. Oh, he's dead soon. There we go. So you got another one. I get the VK90. Now I gotta reposition and hold another angle. I'm gonna go there. One. 2. Ah, oh. I can reload, drive away from the leopard. There's the grill. Bother me, now I gotta be careful here. And we win. See? They did their job over there. Because these guys didn't kill us quickly enough, or didn't kill us at all. I feel bad for the XM, because he did a pretty good job there holding it. So. But yeah. See, the thing is, what the TVP did, it should not work. It works like 1 in 10 battles. When you Zerg rush the heavy side and a medium. So, Hello, little guy. Hello. What I do want to know. Right now is the random way watching. I don't know why you're watching me. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Oh, I thought he did a lot more than he did. Oh. Hold on. Oh no. I have an interest right now that I want to check. Remember these 2 guys? That were camping at the top of the hill. Alright, another round of tank requests. Hi, Phoenix. Did I say hi? I don't know. Hi, Bert. M4, the Myth, 50B. Yeah, that'll do. 1B and Type 61. Fun fact about the Type 61. If you happen to care about your WN8, then the Type 61 is a pretty easy tank to farm a boatload of WN8 with. Oi. Screen of isn't today. Oh, nice. How's it going? How many points you still need? Points you still need. $90. Huh. Gee. I mean, there's pretty much like 2 weeks left, so you know, you're gonna be fine. I hope. Look at me, I'm a golden boy. I'm such a golden boy. This is not a real autoloader, 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 this is not a real autoloader. There's WN8. It's a statistic you can find on BlitzStars if you want. Oh god. Take some space, Defender. Well, they do have two, so okay, I get it. Okay, we have no space at all, but we have to yeet this tiger completely. To completely destroy this tiger. Every fiber of his being. Yeah, he shot me already. Look at this angle there. Reload this weirdo gun. What is that back there? I don't know. Is that Foch? Maybe. Is that you're supposed to care about? You're not supposed to care about it. It's people that are insecure about their penis care about it. Mostly. If you thought about Byzante buff, I don't know why it needed one, but it's good that it got one. Still shouldn't have the cuck shell. Yeah, I mean, this type of gun is awful. I mean, it was fine on the early days of the IS-3 Defender, because nobody knew how to, like, play against it, so it worked pretty well. But this type of gun is just awful, because it's not a real autoloader. You just have a regular gun. You just have a regular gun with one weird reload. So, yeah. Especially in the IS-3 Defender where it's like 20-something seconds. It's just too much. Like, everything above 4 seconds is not an autoloader. Just a funky regular gun. Because the point of an autoloader is that you can dump your magazine at once into the enemy. And everything above that is not an actual autoloader. It's just pretends to be one. All right. Let's get it over with. Should do a video about tanks that should actually be buffed. I don't know. At this point. Anymore. Like, I don't keep track of what's being buffed, what's nerfed. I don't keep track of that anymore. Nor do I care. So I have no idea what's in the current meta and what's not. I just know what I like. Exactly, Fitton. Exactly. That's what it is. But I mean, speaking of tanks that actually should be buffed, well, it's actually not, because then I'd have to play it more. But I think this is one of the most despicable vehicles in the entire game, and if I could change one thing in this game, it would be to delete this thing right here. It would be to delete this tank from the game. If I could do one thing in Blitz. What is space anyway? Okay. Well, at least I die quickly so I don't have to play this thing. That's a great. Alright, okay, come on. Thank you. Get me out of there. Alright. It does not care and it's still a Unicum. I mean, I could play a lot better than I do. I know that. But what's the reward for it, you know? Like, what do I gain from playing even better? Because if you care about how to get better at Blitz, I can just tell you that and, like, play one battle and show you properly. Right? What to do. Like, for example, don't be that WZ-120. You know? like, the reason I stream and this is because I want to have a conversation with people and do something interesting. Now, I don't care about this anymore. You know. So here's the problem, right? They have... The reason I'm up here is because you need an advantage. Right? If you have an advantage, like let's say you're 4 versus 5 or 3 versus 4 or something like this, you know? Where you have a genuine advantage. You're gonna get something from it. You know? You're gonna... I mean, now, we have nothing. Gotta be careful here, because there might be a Jagdpanzer there, but I gotta use these shots right now. Take out the E50M. Ah, fuck off. Now he's pushing me. Now I would need the 62A to do something. Right, because the object's pushing me while reloading, which is the right thing for him to do, of course. Now those tank destroyers should shoot the object, which they don't. Now the object's pushing in. I want to get away, because I don't want to be the focus point. Like, I want that object to focus on, let's say, the E50M, because, I mean, that happens. Right, because now I can kill him. And now we won the battle. Up here. We won the battle up here. That down there, I mean, they did nothing so far. They killed the Foch, right, because the Foch ran into them. But we won the battle up here, right, because we had an advantage, and we took advantage of the advantage. And now, there's 2 of them left. Right, and there's a 50B. I can just clip up the ass. How you doing? And I didn't even do it that much yet. Why would I concern myself with... that? You know. Like, it's like... Let's take Counter-Strike, for example. Like, Dupree has 5 majors. Like, that's the most successful player in that game of all time, and he's won the 5 majors. Is he really that good of a player? No. You know, he's sort of in the middle. But he's the most successful and most decorated player in the entire game. Amateur retard gay. Yeah. Love you. Yeah, I mean, don't remember gay being an insult, but okay. Still playing. I mean, Dupree, he retired this Sunday officially. That's why I bring it up now, right? Simple, or I mean, Zaiwu has 2 now, but Simple, the person that everyone calls the GOAT, he has 1 major. Dupree has 5. So it is never. Don't get caught up on stats. Okay, what are you doing? Gay. 3 versus QC. What is he? It's 2015. I don't know what to say. It's like, here's the thing. If you call someone shit because they're shit, or someone plays badly because they play badly, then that's a criticism of... This is the thing, right? You can criticize anybody for any action that they make as long as the criticism is valid and true. Right? But... I wouldn't insult a bad player as gay. First of all, that's not an insult, and they're a bad player. That's... You know, why would I... Someone plays like a moron. There you go, like... Oh, great. Guess I am the moron now. You know? It's like if what you say is a commentary on their performance, then it's valid. But if you just insult them, ugh. You know? It's like if you're at work and you say, "Fuck you, Dave," that's an insult. But if you say, "Dave, can you stop pissing into my coffee?" You know, that's a criticism of an act. Ow. Gunner bought the farm. By the way, did you know that saying, "the gunner bought the farm," comes from the US military having to buy farmland that they destroyed in testing. Like, let's say the US military was testing a new plane, and they crashed it on some farmer's field, and there's a big crater there. Right? The government basically bought that field and then restored it or repurposed it or something like that. Right? Because it was completely destroyed, and that's where that comes from. The gunner bought the farm. Because, like, you know, he died. He destroyed something. Let that not distract you from the fact that the US dropped live nuclear bombs on itself more than once. Still have the best mechanical Steam game. Yeah. And again, you also need luck. You don't get Dupree winning 5 majors if he's not in the right place at the right time. If he doesn't join Astralis at the right time, and if he doesn't join Vitality at the right time, he ain't winning 5 majors either. Right? He's got the skills, and he's been at the right place at the right time. Simple's got even more skills, but he hasn't been at the right place at the right time. Right? He's been in that Na'vi. That was pretty not that good for a long time. It was just like what Spirit is now. 1v5. You will enjoy the 30 with iPad calling and let me work on anything. Yeah. See, I never got that. Like, if someone does something dumb, you can call them out on it, you absolutely should, but why would you meaninglessly insult someone? You know, if anything that's not an act of comedy or criticism is just pointless and a waste of time. You know. Marty is proud gay, thirsty for Russian bear man. I'm not. I don't like men. I'm a man. I don't like myself. Damn, he didn't reply. That's sad. I wonder where he's from, though. What does that mean? Does anyone speak Eastern European? That's what I assume this to be from. So that's who I would assume would use gay as an attempt to use it as an insult. It's either Eastern Europeans or far-right idiots. But I wouldn't have assume that guy to have as much intelligence to even form a political opinion. So, you know, I don't know. I'm way too fucking stupid to be smarter than so many people. I don't like it. One bit. If I'm even just in the top 20%, even that, and even that's probably too optimistic for me. We're fucked. We're so fucked. I mean, we're fucked in this battle anyway because 3, and if we don't push through the heavy side, unless the mediums are there as well, we're gonna lose because they're gonna group up on the other side, so they're gonna be there and they're gonna take the space. So I'm gonna now go through here and take the space because they are on the other side and they aren't. God damn, I don't have enough. I need the tank Viagra. There we go. I need the tank Viagra. I gotta get that thing up. You're being engaged in Jewish propaganda. What the hell? Why? Where are you? How do you pack homophobia? I mean, how do you pack homophobia and anti-Semitism into one thing? That's impressive in a bad way. You know? How do they explain over 1,000 species being gay? I mean, it's even... Obviously, now they moved on to... The terrible people largely moved on to beefing with transgender people. I don't know why. If they've ever seen a clownfish, that's normal too. So... Alright. But hey. I mean, okay. Yeah, but that's just... The more homophobic they are, the more they're involved in steamy orgies with hot men. You just know. You know, like, the more homophobic someone is, the more they are really present at all male orgies. You just know. Right. Because who else would think about other men's dick all day? Think about it. Who bothers with that? Exactly. Straight awesome anti-pride thing happened in the USA. It was 50 dudes. Yeah. Fine, for ease of sake. Not really. There is no such thing as a perfectly defined group of humans. You know, there is no such thing, but there is no black and white among humanity. There's like 50 million shades of grey in between. Right? And not that shades of grey. Fuck that. And whoever wrote it. Alright, last round of Tango Quest. Yeah, like a lot of news channels. If it there's two things you need to know about the news. If it bleeds, it leads, and angry people click more. Right? Those are the two most important things that you need to know, right? Because most right-wingers don't think, they just feel. And left-wingers less to an extent, but far left, like actual far left, not Democrats, those are centrists. You know, like communists and those kinds. They don't think, they just feel. Right? So you can, well, that is a gross simplification, of course, but it's like, you know, you don't think about problems, you just feel about a problem. You know, how does this problem make me feel? Not is this a problem and how would it fix it, but oh, this problem makes me feel blah blah blah, you know? So a lot of the media just play on emotion. You know, it's just they want to make you angry and they want to make you click on as much stuff as possible, right? Because the more you click, the more engagement they got, the more money they can make. Boom, perfect. They're happy. Right? Especially like Fox News and stuff. It's just, you know, they're not interested in anything besides your watch time. You know, it's just happens to be simple that conservatives are a lot easier to lie to. All right. Because the more you feel, the less you think. I mean, try it on yourself. 65. All right. Feelings of the radical left, or at least based on a sense of injustice and not cultivated via fear mongering. Pretty much. P49. I mean, the only question you really have to ask yourself is, would you rather live in Hungary or Norway? And then should the country that you live in move towards that or that? You know, in an EU context. So the same thing, would you rather live in Russia or North Korea or Norway? So comments I'm already losing now. Any form of extremist and is pretty much rarely well and thoroughly informed. So yeah. Like, I know nothing about... What do I know nothing about? I don't even know what I know... I don't know anything about fashion. Here's an easy example. Right? I know nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. I wear white t-shirts in summer, that's it. So... who would I be to, like, have an opinion on that? And if I would go be like... every piece of clothing that's orange is satanic. There's no thought behind that. I didn't look at it. I was just like, I just declared it that. You know? Alright. Maybe I could put it as a bonus for an honorable mention. What do you mean? 25B? Oh, maybe. Maybe. But yeah. I mean, you're not gonna find solutions to society's problems on Reddit unless you have a like minor problem, you know. Then you can find pretty much everything on Reddit, just not answers to like societal problems mostly because, you know. Alright. I'd rather transmigrate 100 AD with all the mod. Yeah, but you'd just be crucified for being a witch or something, so you can forget that. Maybe they'll even hang you. It's easier. So... won't be as painful, but you're not making it out of there. Don't worry. Don't worry, you're not making it out of there alive. Whee, we got it. This is the, like, the problem, you know, most people just... like, they only care about themselves, and if someone else has a problem, that's their problem. But if they have a problem, it's everyone's problem. You know? So... I mean, there's always like this 10 to 15% of people that you just can't save. They're gone. They're just gone. Forget it. You can't get them back, but everyone else is fine. And you can convince them, mostly. Reddit question, how to bag an absolute 10 gem beauty. Make eye contact. Just look at her. Stare. Actually, don't. What do you mean, fire guy? What do you mean? What do you mean, my man? What do you mean? For 9. Here's the thing. How about... simple idea. If you want to talk to someone, if you want to meet someone, if you want to know more about someone... maybe you treat them as a friend, as someone you're interested in as a person, instead of as an object to conquer or something like that. You know? Just be genuinely, humanly interested in the person you're talking to. And let them talk about themselves as well. People love talking about themselves. You know, just give people the opportunity to talk about themselves. Right? So... basically just be normal. Right? Don't be weird. Don't bring up your $7,000 Lego collection on the first try. You know, just relax. That's how manipulation works. You give people attention. It's also how manipulation works. If you have bad intention. But if you just want to know more about a person and you're genuinely interested in that person, you just talk to them and let them talk about themselves and, you know, be like, don't look down on them. Duh. Unless they're into that, you know, well, you'll find that out later. So... saw some Rage Bay post about how to tell if the number she gave you is fake, and I'm thinking if you get a fake number... yeah, if you get a fake number, then... take the hint. Take the frickin' hint if you get a fake number. Take the frickin' hint. You know? Better yet, don't get a number. Get an email. Everyone asks for the phone number. Nobody asks for the email. You know. Now you need to appear like you have a plan and only her. I gotta work. No. That doesn't work. That only works on pick-me girls. Right. And if you're aiming for divorce, sure, do that, but... you know. I mean, you gotta be genuinely interested in another person, and you also should have a concept of a life. You know? Like, if you sit inside playing video games all day, you're not as... you might not be very appealing. When are you gonna do it for money? Looking awfully long there. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think I'm gonna discuss my freaking private life what I do on stream? Jeez. I hate talking about myself. I just sit quietly in the corner or something. Yeah, like, just... like, I don't know, just... talk about a book you read that's interesting. You know, if it's... gotta be an interesting book. He's a sex culture leader confirmed. I'm not, but... in that case, you perhaps could enter a game using that. Can't tell no one. Hello, Big Chilling, how you doing? Well, this is... you can't request tank destroyers unless you're a channel member. Don't like... tank destroyers. And most fucking importantly, don't waste your time on people that ain't compatible. Right? Better off being happy alone than miserable in a relationship. Alright. If you ain't happy, you ain't gonna be happy either way. Alright. If you want happiness, get a cat. There you go. Also does help. Say, just get a cute dog. There you go. Get a cute dog. Don't be clinically obese. There you go. I mean, I gotta say, we live in a time where it's a really good idea if less people reproduced. But, whatever. So. In that case, if I was coming... Is it 25? Well, well, I still have time. I can do the 215B and the pizza at the end. Gotta go through the list first. Don't waste your time on the emo girl with no personality. I'm gonna fix you. Don't try to fix anyone. Just either you're fine with who they are or you're not. You can't force someone to change. Alright. Wait. Life ain't hard. Show up. Be friendly. Don't be weird. Do your stuff. Punch a fascist. Eat some pizza. Have some fun. Boom. There you go. Pizza being one of my least favorite foods. You're not a real human. You're not a real human. You don't exist. Not liking pizza. That's what aliens do. Alright. Where this is objective. Well, I mean... Not entirely. Going for it too. Well, being chilling, I'm playing a list here. So don't worry, I'm gonna do it. Okay, we got a list right here. Then we're doing the FE215B, and then the FE4202. Don't go to blind dates, or at least know what you're getting into from the get-go. Or don't. You can always leave.
Let's get this show on the road.
You can always leave, you know. And don't hit on people at work, you know. That's another thing, like, come on. Just don't do that in general. Just don't. Just talk to people. Be a human. Don't be weird. Maybe it's like, is it the greasy slope or not? Okay, that's... That is interesting. So it's like extremism, but pizza. Either it's awful, either it's perfectly awful, or it's perfect. Perfectly good. Interesting. Pizza with sweet corn, oh well. I did 2 more! Get wrecked. Get wrecked, bro. I did 2 more. Damn. Close enough. I mean, we're gonna lose anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it was fun. Alright. T-54. Got you. What do you mean? What do you mean? I wouldn't assume it, but may I remind that stream sniping my stream will get you banned from my stream. I do not appreciate that at all.
Time to roll out.
Perhaps that should be obvious. So... But, because you probably didn't know that, I'll leave it at the reminder and ignore your tank request. Let's see. Hello. Yeah, run a delay. It's like 7 or 8 seconds, but just natural stream delay. Why would I want like 30 seconds delay? I'm not a tournament streamer, and I want to have a conversation with people, so it doesn't really work that well, and that's why I'm doing the stream sniping that way, because uh-oh.
We've damaged them. Penetration. We've lost the track. We're stuck here.
Gonna order a pizza later. Alright, enjoy. Uh-oh. They're gonna jump on me. See, this is another very important thing to do in Blitz. If you have an enemy charge at you like this E100, this guy's a terrible player, right? What you can do is put him in a bad spot. Like what I'm doing here is he's YOLO bum rushing me, right? Now, and I put him in a bad spot. Like if I would have stayed up there, then, you know, the Karo and the TVP couldn't have shot him, but now both the IS-4 and the E100 is already dead, and the IS-4 is in a bad spot because I moved away and I moved into my teammates. Right, that's another very important thing as well. If a guy like that E100 pushes you and rushes you, just move into your teammates. Don't try to attack them and go forward, just move back into your teammates so they not only get shot at you, but your teammates can also shoot at them. Right, so keep that in mind. So... Alright. Pizza yourself. Yeah, I mean, I like doing that a lot. Self-made pizza is just something excellent. Highly recommend that. Pizza is close to $30. What? Why? Why? Got the FE422. No. Can you not stream snipe? Oh, wait. So... Go check the menu. You get €6 pizzas there. I mean, pizza here is somewhere between 9 to 12 euros mostly. It does depend. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, it always depends on where you live and how much purchasing power there is. Right. And remember, what's the biggest factor to get rid of poverty? You don't want to... It's women's rights. Simple as that. Simple as that. If you want to get rid of poverty in a country, that's the first thing you start at. Half of Africa and the Middle East just put their fingers in their ears and started doing la 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 la. But anyway, that's what it is. Let's see. But this is one of the great things our society has produced. Pizza. And it is a shame that those on North Sentinel Island will most likely never be able to taste the perfection of pizza. If you guys fall for being this poor. That too. It's basically screwed externally and internally as well, because obviously once the colonial powers left, they most often left a vacuum, right? And some terrible people filled that. And obviously if you slap 15 different tribes that hate each other into the same country, then you might have a couple of problems with that as well. Especially if only 12 of them have proper food. Alright. You can airdrop pizza. What do you mean? Yeah, but I wouldn't, like, I don't know if they're, like, gonna get sick from it and stuff, you know? It's also banned to go there. I don't want to land in a... What is it? I think India's the administrating country. I don't want to land in the Indian jail. Don't want to land in any jail for that matter, but... I mean, I wouldn't mind, like, a Norwegian jail, but still, what would it do there? But yeah. You can't really do much if you're being fucked from the outside and the inside. You know? Different adaptation, but I can't. That too, yes. And they're all the same people as well. It's the funniest part. You know, whenever there's two countries that have the same name, like North Korea, South Korea, Sudan, they pretty much hate each other most of the time. You know. So, yeah. What do we have? Apricot chicken deluxe stuffed crust is New Zealand. Well, because you're living in paradise, also known as New Zealand, and it's also in the middle of nowhere. So it's hard to get stuff there that's not native there. And also the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar are worth less than the US dollar, so it's not a perfect comparison.
Let's go.
East Germany, West Germany. What do you mean? I mean, yeah, a lot of East Germans now decided that voting for a party that's at least partially Nazi is a good idea, so I personally would have beef with them over that. You know.
Enemy armor is hit. Crack hit. Enemy armor is damaged.
Alright.
We've damaged them. Crack hit.
Why?
Enemy armor is damaged.
Chicken cows here. Yes. But other things that's on the pizza might not be there. Like, it's in the middle of nowhere.
We've damaged them.
I don't think the Amazon man can swim that well. Uh-oh. I mean, Alaska's expensive as hell, too.
Penetration.
Alright, Ranamori sound. This got good Nepalese Indian food for 8 euros. Can I have some? Where? So...
Enemy armor is hit.
I had plenty of Indian food, but... Never seen Nepal anywhere.
Enemy armor is damaged.
You also gotta appreciate humanity for the ability to make delicious bread pretty much anywhere. Except America. That's not bread. The US doesn't have real bread.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
So... But you can appreciate pretty much everyone else for making good bread. I mean, the Native Americans probably made much better bread than what is going on now, but... Well, they did now. Is there a point of Bitcoin? Vanity? I guess. Hey, I have a Bitcoin. Why is Bitcoin valuable? Because people think it has value. It's the same with regular money. But if in like a couple of years you still can't pay anything with Bitcoin and you can't do anything with Bitcoin, I don't know if the value is going to stay where it is. I don't know. I don't have Bitcoin. It is time for the important tank. Sure, was in no way fast in real life. Well, here's a piece of advice. This game has nothing to do with the realisticness. With the realism. English. Yes. I have the English comprehension of a British parrot. All right, Guns upon this game. Well, I wouldn't call it that directly, but it's kind of an insult to Bitcoin to compare it to a Bonzi's game. But it is like it relies on everyone in it believing it has value. Because Bitcoin's not trying to sell anything, and you know, it's just there. Ow. I finished with the MS-1 because that would be bad. Because that would suck, because it would undermine the superiority of the M2 Light. Because as we all know, this is the greatest tank that has ever been made. And, in fact, is the only tier 1 that I know of, at least, that has been nerfed since the update 5.5. Because it was so OP, because of me. We got a mobility nerf. Yeah, we'll be able to break the encryption. No. Because that's not a thing AI does. That's the amount of GPU power you need to run those decryption algorithms is insane. Oh my. Come on, what the fuck is this shit team, bro? They're so fucking useless, genuinely. Like, what is that shit? Bunch of goobers waxing the carrot in the back. Jesus Christ. On a bike. Gotta wonder Quantum Computer's been able to find seed phrases. I don't know. I don't know anything about Bitcoin, so I just know it's a fancy piece of code that people think has value. Blockchain.
That one didn't go through.
Unless I'm breaking it. China. China. Don't worry about China. Yeah, I hate you, VIE. I hate you. I hope you have wet socks. I hope you have wet socks. Oh. I know why. I know why. Where is that person in chat? There we go. If you see, perhaps we go back, we go back to right here. Start to see that was the same player. Now, you were warned, and you're gone. Alright, I'm gonna try again. This time, hopefully without trash in my match. But let's see. Probably gonna take a bit to... I hope I can get another one. I hope I can get another one. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm still doing English. I do. No, I don't have tomorrow off. But yeah, gotta play the M2 Lite again. And also profile. There we go. How do I? Can I block someone here? I don't know. Gotta make sure of that. Yeah. Yep. Right. See, here's the thing. If you don't know something, and you do it, you know, what can you do? You got common sense? Sure. But if you don't know, and then you're told to not do something, and then you do it again, too bad. Not my problem. Translate the first phrase. Duolingo help me. Is your morning free? No, it means are you afraid of moral? Really? It actually means. Let's see if we can get an actual match here. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. I play one because I play the M2 Lite for the last match of the stream. But unfortunately, we had a stream sniper in the last M2 match, so I'm gonna play another one. Because I think that it would be unfair to the M2 Lite to disrespect it in such a way. You know? What? Care. What do I care about that guy anymore? What do I care? Yeah. If you want to be the king of garbage, go ahead. Have fun. It was pretty quick match though. Is that? I'm just saying it. You see, hanger slash battle type slash regular header. Some piece of code broke. Some piece of code definitely broke. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Yeah. Oh well. Well, guess what? Money can't buy class. It never could, and never can. Alright. And can buy you a fancier casket. But you still end up in the ground. You're still gonna be eaten by the same bacteria as everyone else. So what's the point? Why would you let terrible people ruin a decent life? I mean, I'm playing Blitz. Just like the whole point of Blitz. The terrible people ruin your life or matches, but that's multiplayer games. I mean, it's mostly just team multiplayer games. Like with random teams, like single multiplayer, right? Where you 1v1 or you are 1v everyone. That's not really the case there, right? Because you're relying on your own. You're doing your thing, and if you fuck up, it's your fault that you lost. It's like in Le Mans Ultimate, which is the game that I play at the moment, and played since it came out. Right? It's a racing game, right? You face like 20 other people, and if they're faster, they're gonna go by it. And if you're faster, you're gonna go by. And if they think they have a hole to go into, which they don't, then they might crash. And if you do a stupid dive bomb, you're gonna crash. You know, it's on you. But in a team game, you can do the best you can. The best possible. And you still lose. That's how it goes. You know, so it would assume that in a team game, the people would at least attempt to carry. That's the expectation. The only expectation is that people carry their own weight. You know? Because without obviously, without 40%ers, there are no unicums, of course. But you could expect to, like, that people try to carry their own weight. Now, they try to get better. They try to learn. You know, they try to avoid making terrible mistakes. again and again. Do we have? No, we don't. Okay, good. I think we're clean. So we're gonna have a real battle here. I think we're gonna have a real battle here. It's kind of a shame though, you know, when someone does something and you're like, don't do that. And then they do it again. It's a bit of a shame. Also does show a lack of character, really. But hey, let's try. Let's try. Oh. Ow. Ow. Well, that's on me. Time to screen snipe. Yes, why are you in my house? Why are you in my house? Stop screen sniping. Why are you in my house? Please get out. Are you in my walls? Are you in my walls? I mean, I could be really petty and report the stream sniping to Wargaming, but I'm not gonna waste my time with that. Ain't even worth it. Ain't even worth it. The poor Wargaming guy deserves better as well. So, whatever. Oh, so yeah, this is ass. So far. And they all want me, and I'm dead now. When they're... See, this is the thing. When tier 3 players have a better game sense than the majority of tier 10 players, then you know your game sucks. You know? Because they saw an opportunity, they went for it, they took it. You know, that opportunity was me, and that's sad, but they took the opportunity. Most tier 10 players don't play like that, they don't know that. You know, so I gotta appreciate it. I never heard one of his funny German words when he gets angry. Because I don't really get angry at Blitz, I just get disappointed in the general state of humanity. You know, it's not anger, it's disappointment. And I recommend that too, it's just... Don't waste your energy on anger, just... use disappointment. It's more effective. You know, let's say you're driving on the road and someone cuts you off. If you give them the middle finger, you know, it's, you know, fair, but not as cool. But if you give them a thumbs down, that hurts a lot more. You know, because you're disappointed. Should like that German VTuber guy. What? I don't know. I don't know anything about VTubers. It's like the anime of streaming to me. As in, I don't care about it. But you're free to do whatever you want with it. Why? Why are you gonna do this, little guy? Why are you gonna do this, little guy? No, seriously, I can't do that because I'm gonna attract. Then I'm probably gonna attract a certain Blitz YouTuber, so I don't want that. Hey, you brought it up, not me. Girls should get real jobs. How about men should get real jobs? Hey, if you're on OnlyFans and you make a lot of money because some dudes are horny, that's a real job. Everyone sells their body. That's what work is. If you sell pictures of yourself on the internet, or if you sell your body and your health to the construction company building houses, it's the same thing. You know? I mean, are you contributing much to society? I don't know. But It is a real job. Because it's making real money. 690. Close enough. I should have gotten 2 less spotting damage. You know? I mean, don't we have a free market? Supposedly. You know, I mean, and free market in terms of like companies competing with each other, not free as in they can dump as much poison into the ground as they want to. You know, that's the wrong definition of freedom there. Because freedom is never you can do anything you want. Freedom is you can do anything you want that doesn't harm others. Right? Because if you do whatever you want, that's tyranny. No regard for anyone else. Freedom. You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't harm someone else. And does selling images of yourself on the internet for thousands of dollars a month harm anyone else? Probably not. I mean, Lamborghini and Ferrari, they're happy because they're having cars bought. It's good for the economy. Gooning is good for the economy. Think about it. So I think it's gonna fall apart. Yeah, but not because there's OnlyFans girls. Because of decades of corporate greed and neglect of the environment and neglect of human connection in favor of pure profit. Right? You can hardly blame an OnlyFans girl for the downfall of society. You gotta blame the oil company CEOs and Ronald Reagan, etc. And the rapid unnatural increase in human population leading to an explosion of pretty much everything that kind of fucked everything up a little bit, so that doesn't help. You know, we wouldn't have half the problems we have now if there'd be like 3 billion people. So perhaps it would be useful to not fuck for a while. I mean, use condoms for a while. And then solve a lot of problems by simply reducing the population on a natural way, in a normal way. So, just saying. You know. Well, we're gonna have massive problems with the retirement and anything anyway, but you know, whatever. Just half our problems wouldn't exist if there wouldn't be so damn many of us. And I'm part of the problem, partially. I mean, I'm an only child, so I'm already participating in the reduction of the population, so I'm fine. But yeah. Less people and more cats. That's the goal. Century of zero birth, make it happen. Yeah, but if there's no births for an entire century, we just go extinct, which for the sake of the planet would be a pretty good thing, but I think humanity should continue to exist, just not at the scale and level of destruction it does now, right? I mean, you know. As these in the one have, then they become mothers. And where from there, I wonder. What do you mean, where to from there? It's called life. It's called life. It's any new generations, though, of course. Who will gonna take care of us when we're old? Well, I mean, given that most countries have a somewhat sophisticated retirement system, it's gonna be okay, somewhat. You know, thousands of years ago, old people were just left at a tree. So the system we have now is significantly better than that, but I don't think that 8 billion people is sustainable. Leftists will be the only ones that survive. Yeah, because they tend to think and not, yes, Daddy Trump, do everything, you know? I mean, everyone from center right to not extreme left is fine. Everyone else is a bit fucked. You know? I mean, biology and nature is progressive, right? So if you're against progress, you're just simply against human nature. It doesn't work. You know, you can't go back to the past or stop things and freeze stuff. Everything's going to continue to develop and evolve. You just have to find a way to do it properly and to evolve in a good way and not in the current American government way, for example. That's what you know, like that's what I think how it's gotta go. You know, you can't fucking go back in time. But you can hydrate properly. Thousands of years old people were 30. That's true. Somewhat. I mean, it's averages because there was so massive child mortality. Basically, if you lived till the age of 5, you had a pretty decent chance to make it to like 50, 60. Yeah. 40s is kind of recent. Yeah, I don't know why would anyone want to go back to the past. You know, like, I'm forever thankful for the advancement of current medicine. Yeah, see, that's the thing, you know, they always just want to undo people's rights. They never want to undo science that helps them. You know? Well, they do actually. If we look at RFK in the US, they do want to undo science that helps them. So maybe that's not entirely true. Yeah. That's a big oopsie. Anti-intellectualism will get us all killed. Well, has already gotten us halfway there. But hey, remember kids, stay hydrated. Because it's gonna get a lot hotter in the next couple of decades. So stay hydrated. And, you know, don't try single combat with a beaver. You're gonna lose. Beware of the beavers. That's my life advice. Beware of the beaver. So with that said, appreciate you all. So RX accepts this. No, the hell. She's a very important person that my life would be not as good without. But yeah. So, with that said, thank you all very much for watching. And as always, a lot of tomorrow. Yeah, well, I won't watch. I don't care. But good luck with that. If you have balls, check your balls. Maybe you'll get the good balls. And with that, thank you very much for watching. And as always, stay safe. Don't die. Goodbye.